When she's not at her easel, BJ Liu runs a small family import-export business. Jose Bedoya is a Chicago firefighter. And Errol Jacobson pays his bills working as a real estate appraiser. All of them, however, share one common passion, and that's painting in the open air, or plein air, as it's called in French. The three are members of the Plein Air Painters of Chicago, a group of mostly amateur artists who meet once a week at a different Chicago area location and paint whatever inspires them.
It's something that I wanted to try, and I always liked art, but never touched oil before. Pretty much basically decided one day I'm going to be an artist. There are some fantastic artists in the group. Once I joined this group, I couldn't find a better place and better group to be part of.
There are a number of plein air groups throughout the country, but the Chicago chapter was started by professional artist Scott Tallman Powers, a classically trained painter.
My friend Christina Bodie and I kind of started it right in 2003. We started going out and painting, and we kind of gathered a bunch of friends together, and we wanted just to kind of collaborate with each other and learn from each other also. We started emailing our friends and started turned into a small email group, and then started building to a large email group. And then people started telling each other friends, and we started having critiques at the end of the sessions, and it just kind of built from there.
And build it has. The Plein Air mailing list now numbers more than 300 members of all skill levels. That last point is important. There are no minimum artistic requirements to become a plein air painter. Errol Jacobson took some art classes and then joined the group.
I was a little intimidated at first, to be honest with you, because I felt like, I didn't really, I never painted plein air before, and, I wasn't sure about the equipment and the technique and everything. So the first couple times, I just kind of went out and kind of hung around, introduced myself, and a lot of these people didn't know me. They were like, who's this guy? But everybody was very nice.
On a recent beautiful spring day, the plein air painters descended on Wicker Park, amidst a burst of blossoms and the multi-hued charm of one of Chicago's many colorful neighborhoods. Some pointed their attention at the more urban features of the neighborhood, others focused on nature's beauty. But whatever the subject, the painters have only about 3 hours to create their canvases.
In the beginning, I was such a tedious painter, very slow, and it took me forever just to do one actual painting. By joining this group, and watching everybody paint, how quickly they were, completing their painting within a morning session, which is 3 hours, three and a half hours. It just pushed me to be a faster, quicker painter.
Bedoya says it's also made him a better painter. While painting outdoors is as old as art itself, plein air painting took off in the 19th century with the French Impressionists, who captured the open air in all its glory. Perhaps the most famous depiction of the out-of-doors is George Seurat's A Sunday on La Grande Jatte, 1884, which just happens to hang in the Art Institute of Chicago. But Seurat worked on his masterpiece for 2 years. Chicago's plein air painters have far less time to create their works, and afterwards, the painters gather for a group critique.
And with that strong shadow shape, the design really makes this strong, don't you guys think?
Being reviewed by a professional might seem intimidating, but plein air members say Scott Tallman Powers is an astute and inspiring leader.
He's such a very down-to-earth kind of person, such a very good painter. I consider him a master.
The plein air painters are also a determined and dedicated lot. We found them on a clear and warm day, but they paint year-round, whether it's sunny, rainy, or a cruel Chicago winter's day.
I remember we painted in Logan Square. Might have been November of last year, possibly December. And it wasn't that it was so cold, but the wind was just whipping across the square. And it was just like, my face was just like frozen. But.
And did you hang in there, or did you get...
Yeah, I hung in there, actually got a decent painting out of it.
People have come out in full-blown rainstorms, and we continue to paint. There's no days off. And so if it's raining, snowing, whatever, we show up. And you go out and paint, and you prepare for it. But then also you become extremely efficient in your decision making, and sometimes it can get the best paintings you've ever painted in your life.
It costs nothing to join the plein air painters, but you will have to invest in paint, brushes, an easel, and of course, canvases, some of which you may never once seen.
And the first painting was just such a disaster. I don't even have it any longer. I mean, took it and threw it away.
But with practice and determination, many of the plein air painters that started out with minimal skills are now turning out beautiful works. And perhaps someday, those open air paintings may hang alongside those of the masters. For Chicago Tonight, I'm Eddie Arruza.